Hey folks, welcome to Horsin Around. Brian McCormack here with you. Darren Elliott is off this week. He's traveling the country, so we'll have Darren back on the couch with us for our next episode. But lots to discuss for the Henderson Silver Knights, who are in the midst of a 5-game road swing that will continue this weekend in Colorado against the Eagles. Their final 2 games at Blue Arena this season. Always a tough building to pick up points. Silver Knights have picked up points in their prior 2 visits to that building, both overtime losses. So they've done well against the Eagles so far this season. Eagles and Ontario Reign right now battling at the top of the Pacific. So important points on the line as the Silver Knights stay in that playoff perimeter. And it was a very tight Pacific division. So we'll discuss the games that are to come. We'll discuss the start of this road swing where the Silver Knights went through California with a ping-pong trip between Coachella, Ontario, and Coachella again. Silver Knights picking up points in 2 of those 3 contests. We're going to talk a little bit about Jonas Rönnbjerg, who is Olympic bound, about some of the Silver Knights players who have been stepping up during this window in which it's been very much in need for the Silver Knights' best players to be their best players. Carl Lindbaum is heading to the All-Star game. We'll discuss in our next segment when Fred Brathwaite, the Silver Knights goaltending coach, will join us here to talk about not just Carl, but the entire Silver Knights goaltending battery and the success that they've had in this first half of the season. And then to wrap up the show, Jeff Sharples, now VGK analyst, but also Las Vegas Thunder alumnus and former NHLer and man who's had a great impact on hockey in the Vegas Valley for many years now. But as mentioned, a Las Vegas Thunder alumnus, and that's the most important part here. He will be joining us via Zoom call to discuss Las Vegas Thunder Night that is coming to Lee's Family Forum on Saturday, January 24th. We've had it twice before. This will be the 3rd installment, bringing back a handful of Thunder alumni from the IHL Thunder days, some of the pioneers of hockey in the Vegas Valley. Jeff Sharples will get us ready for that. It will be a fun night at Lee's Family Forum. So tons to discuss. But we start for the Silver Knights with the here and now. We're coming into this weekend, and for purposes of you being able to contextualize all this, we're recording this on Thursday the 15th. So as of this recording, the Silver Knights find themselves 8th in the Pacific, but again, right there in that 2-3 point mushed middle of the Pacific between 4th and 9th, if you will. So Silver Knights right there in the race where they need to be. They have points in 9 of their last 11 games, and that's helped them to chip away over the course of these last couple of weeks. But for the Silver Knights, they picked up a win in Coachella Valley on Wednesday against the Firebirds, which is one of their more convincing victories of the season. On Friday, they went into Ontario, had a 3rd period lead, could not hold it, but still picked up an overtime point against the Reign, a shootout loss against Ontario. And then on Saturday in Coachella, Silver Knights left some points on the table. They had a 2-0 lead in the first period. Some mistakes in the second period that have been uncharacteristic mistakes of late cost them, and the Silver Knights not able to find an answer in a 3-2 loss to the Firebirds. But for the Silver Knights of late, their best players have been their best players. And that's kind of I don't know if it sounds like a cliche or a no-duh statement. Like, well, yeah, of course you need your best players to be your best players. That's why they are your best players. To me, there's a caveat to that. And what that is, it reminds me of what we discussed on this program early in the season with Jacob Megna. And when Jacob Megna talked about how your lineup isn't always going to be at 100% health. You're going to have injuries, you're going to have guys called up, and it's important when you have your roster together as your A lineup that you're getting points. Take advantage of those windows in the schedule, beef up with success so that during the leaner periods or the periods where you're trying to get creative to find some solutions, you've got a little bit of a nest egg that you can work off of. Similarly, in terms of situations of, okay, I need my best players to be themselves all the time, but there's times where I really need them to step up and lead. That to me is during those windows when you have those call-ups, you have those injuries, and you need to be able to rely on your top players to do the bulk of the carrying of the workload, the bulk of the labor to get you up the hill. Depth scoring is important. Being able to rely on every player in your lineup to play the role that they play is absolutely important, no matter what time of year it is, no matter what your roster looks like. But if you can rely on your all-star caliber players to do not just their part, but to be a 9 out of 10 on the scale of what they're capable of, boy, does that give you a lot of breathing room around the edges. And for the Silver Knights, they've had that. And, let's start with Jonas Rönnbjerg. Jonas Rönnbjerg, who it was confirmed is heading to the Olympic Games to represent Denmark. Now, we knew that was the case dating back to last spring. He was one of the first 6 players announced for Team Denmark. All the teams put out the preliminary first 5 or 6 names of players that were going to go. And for Denmark, Rönnbjerg was on that list, a list that includes some prominent NHLers as well. So a tip of the cap for Jonas Rönnbjerg and where he stands both in the American Hockey League and in the international hockey community. He's represented Denmark before. So we knew he was going to be going, but having said that, you still want to see that roster come out finalized to be 100% certain of everything. So no surprise, Jonas Rönnbjerg is headed to the Olympic Games. He will be the first Silver Knight to take part in the Olympics while a member of the Silver Knights. So that'll certainly be exciting for Silver Knights fans. And it's not a surprise. It wasn't a surprise when that decision came out last spring, but boy, has it only been reaffirmed by the work he's done this season. Jonas Rönnbjerg is having a career season. He has 6 goals in his last 9 contests coming into this weekend. 12 goals is 2 shy of his career best. And, overarchingly, Jonas Rönnbjerg has been, throughout his entire career, a solid 200-foot player, a dependable 200-foot player. This year, there's been a little more offense there, and I don't know if it's confidence or swagger or just knowing more is required of him to become what he still wants to be, which is an NHL player every day. And there's no question during his tenure with the Golden Knights, he's always been responsible defensively. He's always been a good matchup guy. The offense hasn't always translated to the NHL the way it has in the AHL. So you're always adding to your game. You're always trying to find ways to become an NHL option day in, day out. And you can see Jonas Rönnbjerg taking on a different role this season. So as we mentioned, he's already 2 goals off of his career best. He's played in, I believe, 32 of the 33 games this season. He's been available to Ryan Craig every night. And the thing that really stands out to me, he leads the Silver Knights in shots on goal. And I've written this down so as to make sure I get it right for you. But coming into this weekend, Jonas Rönnbjerg has 83 shots in 33 games. 83 shots in 33 games. For perspective, last season, he had 105 shots in 53 games. The year before, 102 shots in 48 games. The year before that, 113 shots in 54 games. So he's 20 shots off his total of each of the last 2 years in 15 to 20 fewer games. That's significant. Jonas Rönnbjerg is without question shooting the puck more, and I don't know if it's a coincidence. If you do something more, you're going to get better at it. That might be part of it as well, or if the puck's going in and therefore he's deciding to shoot more. But his shooting percentage is 14.5%. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. So he's putting the puck on net, and you look at what he did over the weekend against the Firebirds. He gets to the middle of the ice, he gets to the front of the net. That's always been the case for Rönnbjerg, but he's scoring off the rush. He's in scenarios where in the past you might have seen Jonas Rönnbjerg look to pass, look to find somebody else. He's calling his own number, he's going to the net himself. So there's a goal scorer's mentality for Rönnbjerg over the course of this last month. And as mentioned, 6 goals in the last 9 games. Certainly a player that the Silver Knights will miss when he goes to the Olympics because, of course, the NHL has an Olympics break. The AHL does not have an Olympics break, so that'll be a window in which the Silver Knights are without him and in need of others to step up. And we talk about this window of stepping up. Again, the injuries and the call-ups the Silver Knights have been dealing with are well documented, but just to put a couple of them out there in the moment, Braden Bowman's been called up for the majority of the season and again, may be up with the VGK for good the way that he's played. They've been without Raphael Lavoie for over a month and a half due to his injury. They hope to have him back soon. They've been without Jakub Demek the entire season. He was injured during the preseason. They hope he might come back soon. Trevor Connolly has been injured since just before World Juniors. He is working his way back, they hope. On the blue line, Lucas Cormier has been injured. They hope he might be an option again in the near future, but waiting and seeing. Lucas Johansson has been injured for the last 3 games as he's dealing with an upper body injury. And again, that's just off the top of my head. And in the midst of that, with VGK injuries, you've seen Dylan Coghlan go up and down, Jacob Megna go up and down. So this is where you've needed the Silver Knights' best players to be their best players, to alleviate that. You're still probably talking about trying to win some lower scoring games, but if you have a 3-2 game and your top line scores 3, boy, does that take the heat off of everybody else. And the Silver Knights' top line has been just that, the top line. We talked about Jonas Rondbjerg. Let's talk about Tanner Laczynski and Ben Hemmerling. Ben Hemmerling with 4 goals and 7 points in his last 7 games. That is a player that, coming into this season, which is still his technically his rookie season, last year he missed so much time due to an upper body injury. Got in at the end, got a little bit of an orientation, but this was the season where he was going to come in and really dig into what his AHL role was going to be, and what that role has been as a top-line player. First couple of weeks of the season, he was in and out of the lineup in the rotational shuffle of Jackson Hallam, Tuomas Joronen, all the young players trying to not just find their spot in the lineup, but Ryan Craig also trying to make sure all the young guys get a turn in the lineup. And what Ben Hemmerling had that stood apart from most other players was speed. Vertical straight line speed through the neutral zone, able to create odd man rushes off the jump, able to win foot races and put pressure on the defense. That's something that Ben Hemmerling has always been able to do. It's how is he going to be able to situationally use that speed in zone and be a player that is dependable for Tanner Laczynski and Jonas Rondbjerg, and productive for those two. And boy, has he been that, because now he's learning how to use his speed in small areas. It's not winning a race from blue line to blue line. It's winning a race from the hash marks to the corner on a loose puck to keep possession alive. It's getting free from the crowd into the high slot to be an option for a shot. It's for a player that isn't a towering figure, he's getting to the front of the net. He's getting his stick on pucks. He's scoring goals in net front scrum situations. Those are all great developments for Ben Hemmerling as he advances as a young player, and that's why he's been in a top-line role for the majority of the season, and that continues during this stretch. And Tanner Laczynski has been, Carl Lindbaum is headed to the All-Star game for the Silver Knights. If it was not Carl Lindbaum, you imagine it likely would have been Tanner Laczynski, who is a plus 22. That is tied for the best mark in the American Hockey League. His previous career best is plus 12. He's plus 22, and a lot of it is because of the production that he himself is generating. An 8-game point streak that ended on Saturday in Palm Desert, but during that 8-game point streak had, I believe it was 15 points, and a 5-point game on Wednesday in Palm Desert, which was the first 5-point game in Silver Knights history, with 2 goals and 3 helpers.
Yeah, I think just reading off each other, working together, talking. Yeah, it's just one of those nights where I felt like everything was kind of clicking and everything was working toward, in favor of us, so it was good.
That whole line working together so cohesively is going to create offensive opportunities for each individual on it. But Tanner Laczynski is shooting, Tanner Laczynski is distributing, he's finding how many assists during this run have been him coming out of the corner and just making passes parallel to the goal line, straight to the front. We talk about snipers who are able to find corners around goaltenders. Sometimes you can have a similar mentality for a guy who's able to find a stick blade on the back door through a maze of 5 other stick blades. Tanner Laczynski has been a playmaker in that way. And I think another thing that for that entire line, which heading into Saturday's game, I believe the Laczynski, Rondbjerg, Hemmerling trio had generated, I want to say it was 13 of 19 or 14 of 20 Silver Knights goals. A lot of productions come from that trio. But a big reason why is just how much time they've spent in the offensive zone. Tanner Laczynski's been excellent on faceoffs. Rondbjerg and Hemmerling have won board battles, won puck battles. The cycle movement in the offensive zone, they're hard to defend, they're hard to stay with. It's wave after wave of relentless pressure. And because Ryan Craig doesn't just put them out in offensive zone face-off situations, but it's a top line. He often will put them out in offensive situations, offensive face-offs. And they win those draws, they control off those draws, and you never get the puck back again until you can chip it off the glass and try to get a little bit of reprieve. So I think that amount of possession in the O zone, winning face-offs, extending shifts in the offensive zone, not only does it wear teams down, but again, Tanner Laczynski's a plus 22 because he's just not in his D zone that much. And Ben Hemmerling's right behind him. Jonas Rondbjerg is elevated in that category as well. But that trio has been outstanding for the Silver Knights, among the best lines in the Western Conference over the course of the last month, and it's what's helped the Silver Knights pick up points in 9 of the last 11 games. A lot of tight games, a lot of overtime games, and when the margins are so small, usually it's whose best players were better is going to be the determining factor of who comes out on top. And the Silver Knights having way better luck on that in late December and early January than they did in November because of what those big names are doing. And to throw someone else into that conversation, Jeremy Davies has been outstanding of late. 6-game point streak for Jeremy Davies, 10 points in that stretch. That matches his longest point streak in the American Hockey League. And with the likes of Dylan Coughlin's been called up, Jacob Megna's been called up, not at the same time, but usually replacing each other. That's when you look at Jeremy Davies and a player who's already super productive, but you need even more from him in those instances when you have a lot of young players on the blue line that are filling out the rest. You need more minutes from Davies, you need more power play contribution from Davies, you need more 5-on-5 offensive zone possession time from Davies, and Lucas Cormier injured as well. For Davies, he lost his regular D partner about 6 weeks ago in Lucas Cormier and hasn't missed a beat since. And I think the versatility and the go-with-the-flow ability of Davies is something that needs to be highlighted a little bit more. The production is still terrific, but he's doing it when asked to do different things, whether it's D partners, whether it's having to fill in more minutes in more of a shutdown role because a player like Dylan Coughlin or Jacob Megna aren't there filling that role. Davies on, I think it was Wednesday in Palm Desert, played the left side. He's played exclusively the right side the entire season. And for different players, it may be a little easier or harder versatility-wise to play the left, play the right, but it does matter. It's not just willy-nilly, you play the left? Try the right. It changes so many things, especially for a player like Jeremy Davies, who's a puck mover, who's a playmaker, who creates from high in the zone. Playing the right versus playing the left matters. He played the left side, and what did he do? Well, he went out and he put up 2 points, and he was a +3. And that is that Ryan Craig-Niley, can he depend on Jeremy Davies to handle those situations? He's going to maintain his same level of production. So again, 10 points in the last 6 for Jeremy Davies, who was brought in this offseason to be an offensive player, to be a puck mover, to do the things that he's doing. It's not surprising that he's doing what he's doing in any way whatsoever. It is the back of his trading card. What is encouraging for the Silver Knights is that at a time when other players are available and unavailable, and there's that rotating cast of characters, we need our best players to be our best players. And Davies has stepped up dramatically in that role to say, okay, you're not going to get my A game, you're going to get my A+ game. And that's going to make the difference in these tight margin contests. Silver Knights can smile that a lot of instances they've been given an A+ effort from the guys that they absolutely needed from. As we mentioned, Carl Lindbaum is headed to the AHL All-Star Game. He is the first Silver Knights goaltender ever selected to the AHL All-Star Game. Past AHL All-Star participants for the Silver Knights have included Braden Pahal, who went in place of an injured Daniil Miramanov, who was the original selection. In the last 2 years, Grigory Denisenko represented the Silver Knights after, in 2024, Adam Cracknell was injured. He went and participated in some of the festivities but could not play. And last year, Tanner Lazinski was unavailable for the All-Star Game, so Denisenko went then as well. So Carl Lindbaum, who as of this taping is with the Vegas Golden Knights, he's won 2 NHL games this season, both against the San Jose Sharks, was announced as the selection for the All-Star Game. And we'll see if when the All-Star Game comes around, February 10th and 11th, if Lindbaum is back with the Silver Knights roster. Even with that, with the Olympic break, Lindbaum, I would imagine, might have the option to participate. But again, that's weeks down the road. For now, Carl Lindbaum, who is 6-3-3 in his 12 appearances with the HSK this season, near the tops of the league in goals against average, in save percentage after he ranked second among all AHL rookie goaltenders in those categories last season. It's just been a consistent track record of success and elite play from Carl Lindbaum since he joined the Silver Knights and the American Hockey League last fall. That is being recognized by the AHL. So he will go. 8 of 12 games this season, he's given up 2 goals or fewer. So the Silver Knights have always have a chance to win when Lindbaum is in the net, and for that reason, he will be an AHL All-Star. So congratulations to him. Hopefully, the next couple of weeks, we might have a chance to sit down with Carl on this program to talk about the growth of his game and the accolades he's receiving because of it. But who we do have to speak with on that topic is Fred Brathwaite, the Silver Knights goaltending coach, who will join us on the other side of the break, and we'll talk all things Lindbaum, HSK goaltending, and, goaltending in general with Fred on the other side of this break. Stay with us. We're horsing around.
In goal tonight, he's Carl Lindbaum.
Save made by Lindbaum with the right pad as he dragged it behind. Front wall dangles and glove save made by Lindbaum. It went off the fingertips and wide.
We're back, we're horsing around. Carl Lindbaum has been announced as an AHL All-Star for the first time in his career. As of this recording, he is with the Vegas Golden Knights, but who is here is Silver Knights goaltending coach Fred Brathwaite. Fred, great to have you with us. Thanks for taking some time.
I appreciate it, thank you.
And first off, for someone who works with Carl so much over the last year and a half, everyone's very happy for Carl, and I imagine you especially.
Yeah, I mean, Carl's worked very hard to get this opportunity, and obviously he's not with us right at the moment because he's up with VGK, but he's put a lot of time in, and it's a well-deserved all-star for him.
And we'll get into all elements of what Carl's done these last parts of 2 seasons now, but just to start off, for fans who have seen a lot of Carl, everyone, of course, has a layman's view of the things that Carl does well. You have an expertise. What are some of the things that sets him apart from other goaltenders in this league?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Carl is just the way he reads the game. I know everyone was kind of concerned about his size and everything, but just his compete, him understanding the game, just being in the right spots. It seems like he was always one step ahead of the shooters, and I mean, that's just his goalie skill set, we'll say, and again, his compete. I mean, he just wants to be there. He wants to be the best, and he works off and on the ice, and it shows right now. It's
interesting you mentioned the way he anticipates, because for people who talk about Carl Lindbaum's size, you think he's 5'5". He's a 6'1", 6'2" goaltender. But when you talk about how he gets across, so often I say that Carl is capable of the spectacular save. You don't always see them on his highlight reel because he makes it look so easy. So rarely does he have to save himself. He usually reads the play that he's there and he's square when the shot comes.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, again, he's anticipating the play one step ahead. He kind of knows where the shooters are. And the thing is, he kind of plays in a box, but I mean, sometimes he has to get himself out of that. And we all have seen him make those big saves when needed as well. But just the way he plays, he's a compact goaltender. He's usually always in good position. And as I said, if he's not, he can make those extra saves for us as well.
12 appearances with the Silver Knights this season, 6-3-3. His goals against, his save percentage, both fourth best among goaltenders. And this is a guy we're going to talk about has been back and forth with the VGK. So even that adds a little bit of volatility that you have to adjust to, of being where your feet are when you get there. But I'm curious, when you look at Carl's day in, day out work, we talked to some of the players on the team and they talk about the confidence that they get when Carl's back there. For an opponent, I imagine too, 8 of his 12 starts this season, Carl's given up 2 goals or less. It's hard to play against a goaltender when you go into the game thinking, you know what, 2 might be all that we get tonight. Like, there's got to be a mental factor for opponents going up against Carl Lindbaum that also sets in.
Yeah, I would think so. I think a lot of teams, not just Carl, with all our goaltenders, but I mean with Carl, knowing that you're not going to score too many goals. We don't try to give up too much as a team, but when we do, knowing that Carl, our other goalies are back there, that most teams it's going to be a tough night for them to get some goals. So for them, I'm assuming or thinking that we can't give up too many goals because we know we're not going to score too many on these guys. So a lot of credit to our team in front of them, but just the way Carl plays, that, you know what, every goal is going to be hard to get, and he's going to compete on everything. There's not going to be too many easy goals on him.
One of the things I really enjoy watching you work with all the goaltenders, and Carl especially, because I see a lot of the conversations you two have, he is, and we've used this for a few players on this team, so it's a compliment, there's a hockey nerd in him, which is to say he likes talking to you about the intricacies, the details, the minutia, footwork, things like that. What are those conversations like when you're talking about those small factors in his game?
Yeah, you know what, Carl, he studies the game. He is a goalie nerd. The nice thing is, actually all three of them that we have with Whitehead and Vikman, they're talking to those guys. They are goalie nerds, and the thing is, we could pick each other's brains and figure out small little things, small little adjustments that we could do for each other and then help out each other. But with Carl, you know what? He studies the game. He studies the shooters. He studies our team, and actually, I learned a lot off of him as well.
For your job, we talk about players watching film all the time, and it seems like you can imagine what it's like for a forward or a defenseman going through film, because you're not where you're supposed to be, the gap isn't where it needs, things of that nature. Whereas for a goaltender standing in the blue paint, well, what are you looking at? And I imagine it's maybe a little more like critiquing someone's golf swing. It's a small matter that needs to be discussed, but when the puck's coming at you 95 miles an hour, those small things are big things.
Well, back to the golf thing. We do talk a lot about golf, quite a bit. So the golf and a lot of goaltending stuff. But yeah, a lot of times it's just small little adjustments. Like, let's not chase the puck. Let's let the puck come to us. I mean, a big thing Carl and we've talked about is just trying to stay over the puck, having our knees bent, just playing at the moment too, right? Like, as you said, he's been up with VGK. He's been back with us, just playing where his feet are. And he's done a really good job of not getting away from that, not looking too far ahead, and just being in the present moment at the time.
And I'm sure that NHL work also factors in when you're making all-star selections. He has gotten some time with the Golden Knights this season. He made his NHL debut. He's gotten his first 2 NHL wins. What have you liked about what you've seen from him when he's been up with the VGK, and how has he come back to Henderson in the instances when he's been sent back? How has it grown his game at this level?
Yeah, you know what? I think when he was up there, being around with Sean Burke and being up there is, at times he would not chase the puck, but sometimes he'd get himself outside of the crease, where at the beginning I felt, or as a group, we felt that the pucks were kind of going in around him, where he might be a little too far out and they're passing it around him. And now he's kind of adjusted his game where he's found a happy medium where pucks have to kind of go through him to get in the net. And I think we saw that in his last game against San Jose. And then coming back here, he's made a small little adjustment at our level, which has even made him even better, and will make him better at the NHL level as well.
You say chasing pucks, you mean within himself, but a more literal interpretation of it. I've noticed this, or maybe I haven't. You tell me if I'm right.
You're wrong.
I feel like Carl has been very aggressive and successfully so this season, playing the puck. It seems like it's been a part of his game. He's been behind the net, fielding pucks, making breakout passes himself. That seems like an area that, to the layman's eye, has taken a step this year. Is there something to that?
Yeah, I think, Carl was always pretty good at playing the puck. But again, when he went up there to the NHL with VGK, he was playing the puck a little bit, not really having that same confidence that he had when he was up there. And then when he came back, he's like, you know what, I want to get better at playing the puck. I'm going to come out a little bit more. I might make some odd mistakes, but I'm going to be more comfortable in the long run, getting out, making those little plays. And as a team, we've talked about it as well. Like, we want our goalies to touch it, make the right plays. We need our D to make calls early as well. But we want Carl and all our goalies to get out, touch the puck, and help our breakouts.
You made mention of the relationship that the whole goaltending room has, all the guys able to work off of each other. That's something that we saw a lot last year, too, between Carl and Akira Schmid. And, of course, Akira's having a terrific impact with the Golden Knights this season. And it was interesting, the instances this year where Akira and Carl have been the VGK battery has felt a little bit of a deja vu for us who saw them do it here in Henderson. Yeah.
I mean, last year, having Akira here, and then obviously with Carl, they seem to have a pretty good relationship. Obviously, both of them wanted to be in the net, but off the ice and on the ice, they actually helped each other out quite a bit. And then now seeing them up in VGK and helping them win some games too, it's great to see. It's great to see Akira playing as well as he has, and now he's going to go to the Olympics for the Swiss team, which is awesome. And then how, just even seeing last night, I don't know if you saw the game, but during the intermission, you saw the two of them actually talking in between intermission, which is great. And then now having Vicks with Carl here, two Swedes that they're probably talking about me half the time or most of the time, but they seem to get along really well, and we kind of feed off of each other. And I think it's been a real successful thing that we have going, and hopefully we have a really good second half with that.
Carl Lindbaum going to his first AHL All-Star game. He is the first Silver Knights goaltender to be selected to an AHL All-Star game. Let's widen our scope now to the rest of the goaltending room. You talked about Jesper Vikman, who was with the HSK for a couple of stints last season, but predominantly in Tahoe. The year before that had a little bit more AHL time. So this year he came in with an opportunity for a job to win, to be a battery with Carl, and he's had a solid season and taken some steps forward. What have you liked about him?
Yeah, you know what? I think a big thing for Vix was no one wants to go down to the East Coast, and he went down last year with an open mind. He went down there, played a lot of games, and I just feel that he's improved. He's gotten a lot more confidence in him, but I think he went down there and worked on his game. And then, as you can see, when he's up here, it's kind of moved into this, up to Henderson as well, and I just see him getting better every day. He's working on his game. He's doing a lot of things off the ice to improve his game on the ice as well.
Yeah, if you look at what the Silver Knights have done of late, as of this recording, points in 9 of the last 11, staying right in the mix for what is a very condensed Pacific Division.
Yeah.
And part of that has been a lot of guys stepping up. Braden Bowman gets called up early in the season. He's been there since. You're going to need offense from other places, and more guys have stepped up offensively. The injury to Lucas Cormier and the recalls of Dylan Coughlin and Jacob Magna, who's going to step up defensively? Jeremy Davies has done some big things. Likewise in goal, Lindbaum's been back and forth a little bit, and you've needed Jesper Vikman to come in and provide really solid outings in really low-scoring games. There's been some 1-goal games, 2-goal games, overtime games, and he's found a way to consistently continue racking up points.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of credit goes to both of them, Vikman and Cameron Whitehead, which we haven't really mentioned much about. But those guys have come in, they've worked on their craft, they've waited for this opportunity to get in the net, and there's been no surprise. We knew they were going to come in and play well for us and give us a chance, and that's what they've been doing. I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't matter who we have in the net, but if we throw any of them in the net, we know we have a good chance to win, just because those guys have worked hard enough in the summer, throughout the season, for that opportunity and give us a chance. I mean, back to you're saying these other guys have gotten opportunities. I think as a staff, we're comfortable with whoever's in the net. And we're lucky to have 3, I'll call them studs, in our organization, and probably we have some more as well. But what I have my hands on, these 3 have been really good.
And to talk a little bit about Cameron Whitehead, who's was with the HSK through November, went back to Tahoe for a bit, now he's back up again. I believe his save percentage in Tahoe, I think it's .920. His individual numbers have been terrific. When he joined the Silver Knights at the end of last season, it was during the trip to Colorado, which is a tough building to play in, during Gabriel Landeskog weekend, which
That's right.
is a very high-energy building to make your AHL debut in. And after talking to him about it, he says, well, I've played in the Beanpot, I've played in big games, I'm used to there being some eyes on the game, and all of which is to say, it's a very calm, mature mentality for a young guy who's getting his first full taste of pro hockey this season. Yeah,
as you said, Cam, went to Northeastern, played in the Beanpot, which is, I don't know if he's going to play in a bigger event where there's more people and more pressure on him until he gets into the Stanley Cup Finals, or playoffs, I guess we'll say. But yeah, he came in, went into Colorado. We weren't too worried about him. Well, I was a little bit worried, but he wasn't worried at all, and went in there and gave us some really good games at the end of last year. And then, this year, he's been in Tahoe. From what I hear and from what I've seen, he would have to be the MVP of their team right now, going on at it. So he's been good. Every time he's been called up, he's got an opportunity to play. He's given us an opportunity to win some games. And then now he's been here, and he's been good. It'd be nice to keep him around, but obviously we can't have 3 goalies, so it's an opportunity for him to go back to Tahoe, keep working on his game, and waiting for another opportunity with us.
In the midway point of the season, Silver Knights goaltending has them right in the hunt of where they need to be. Now, for your role, I always wonder as a goaltending coach, you're assisting the players that you have, and for you, it's clear as day, I'm sure. For the fans, maybe less so. When you're coaching different players of other positions, okay, what are their skill sets? What do they do well? How do we put them in position to have success with what they do well? For goaltending, is it the same? Are there areas of someone's attributes that you're trying to lean into, or is there just, hey, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and I need you to be like the right model.
Yeah, no. The way I coach, I just try to work with what they have. I don't want to change too much. If we see something that's kind of glaring, we'll try to fix it and kind of help out their situation, whatever it may be. But we have Carl to Vikman to Cam. Those three are three different goalies. I try to work with what they have, and then, as I said, if there's something that's not working for them, then we'll sit down, we'll watch some video, we'll go over it together and try to figure out what we could do to improve, make them a better goaltender, and hopefully move them to the next level they want to be.
Are there ways to compensate for an area of a goaltender's game that isn't his best? Because the shooter's going to shoot the puck wherever he shoots the puck. You got to be able to stop it where he puts it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just making sure they're getting their eyes on the puck, right? If they could track the puck in, everyone's going to save it a little bit different, but seeing the puck is the biggest thing. So if we're not getting our eyes on the puck and we're not seeing the release, then we're going to work on that and try to get them to see the puck a little bit better, and then they can make the save however they want to after that.
This applies to all coaches. Jamie Heward was here with us a few weeks ago, and I remember asking him, the game has changed so significantly since he played.
Well, he's old.
Well,
yes.
True.
Yeah.
But, and he's been coaching, you've been coaching, like you are familiar with the game as it evolves. You're some of the ones teaching guys and guiding that evolution. But you can't necessarily teach a player to do something exactly the way you did it when you were playing. For goaltending, I think the change in styles over the last 20, 30 years is just as dramatic that the fan can see it. I'm curious, can you often coach players to do things the way that you did it, or do you need to evolve with what's happened since you moved exclusively into coaching?
No, I definitely have to change. I got to stay up to date with what's happening. A lot of these goalies now want to be on their knees. They want to do some stuff that I couldn't do when I was playing. I didn't even know about it. So for myself, yes, I'm always trying to learn more, talk to different goalie coaches, talk to the goalies, hear what they're learning. There's going to be some things that I don't like, but there's a lot of things that I could probably take and then add to our goalies and hopefully make them better that way. But a lot of it is just myself learning, staying relevant of what's happening out there, and then hopefully bring it into their game as well.
And you've already mentioned that you're teaching them, but oftentimes you learn things from them as well. So as the position has changed, do you find that often comes from the coaching community, the veteran community coming along and say, hey, there's a better way to do this? Or is it often players coming and say, hey, I just feel more comfortable doing it this way, and you guys then exploring and seeing what validity that has? You know what,
it's a little bit of both. I think there's some goalie coaches out there that are teaching some stuff that I might agree with or disagree with, and then they're out there seeing it on YouTube and doing whatever they're doing. So a lot of it is seeing if our goalies like it. Sometimes the goalie comes with me and says, I want to try this, and again, it might work and it might not, and then if it's not working, we'll have to figure something else out. So
you've been with the Silver Knights since their inaugural season. You've coached in the National Hockey League, you've coached for Hockey Canada, you've been your resume is very full, and I'm curious, what do you enjoy about coaching at this specific level? You're dealing with talented guys, but still prospects and still guys looking to take that next step.
I think the biggest thing is what you said, that they're still prospects. They're still trying to get to that next level. They're still listening. Not saying the NHL guys aren't listening, but these guys are trying to make it. I'm trying to help them get to their goal, and it's always nice to see like a guy like Akira Schmidt not just get up there, but stay up there. I know we'll see someone like Carl get an opportunity and stay and be a full-time NHL goaltender. I was lucky enough to work with Logan Thompson, who is now a full-time goalie in the NHL, and he's actually going to go to the Olympics as well. So seeing those things and working with those guys is it's always great to see, and knowing that I was able to be around them and spend time with them is awesome as well.
And again, knowing the way that you do the job, after every practice, you're with your goaltenders, you're talking, they're always, whether it's the film room with you, you have a very approachable relationship with your goaltenders. It's a very close relationship. Is that an important way to handle it? Maybe there are goaltending coaches you've had in the past that do it differently.
Yeah, I think so. I think just the way I am, I think spending time with them, getting to know them, it's not about building their trust, but building their trust. I think if being with them and becoming not just friends, but friends that they know I'm looking out for the best for them. So now if I have to criticize them, they know I'm doing it, try to get them to be better than whatever's been happening. So, I think building relationships that way is huge. And then knowing that I have their back as well, and trying to help them get to where they want to get to, that is the most important thing.
Well, before we let you go, again, we've talked a lot about your coaching career. You had a phenomenal playing career as well, and you said just the way your personality is, you are an approachable guy. You do get along with everybody.
Not everybody, but yeah.
Well, when we cross paths with people who played with you before, everyone always wants to know how Freddie's doing if there's a few minutes to talk to you. And that, when we go to Calgary, Fred Brathwaite could run for mayor in Calgary, and I think he might win. It's got to be nice when you, with a career that has had so many stops as yours had, that when you go back to places where you once played, that people are happy to see you again. It must be nice that that's the effect you've had as you moved along in your career.
Yeah, I mean, if you pay people off enough, that it works out that way. But yeah, no, I mean, I was fortunate to play in a lot of different places and meet a lot of people and become friends and stay friends with them. But that's just, as I said, that's just the way I am, I guess. Some days people don't want to talk to me, but that's okay too. That's all right.
Well, we're thrilled to talk with you today. We appreciate it.
Well, if I pay you off enough, sooner or later you'd get me on here. So
you know my
I appreciate
address.
that.
Fred, goaltending has been terrific this season. Carl Lindbaum's heading to the All-Star game. Congratulations on solid work, and good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate that. But I have to put a shout out to our goalie department as well. I mean, my job's a lot easier because of guys like Mike Rosati and Sean Burke who've brought these goalies to me. I mean, I have these skilled goalies with me right now, which makes my job a lot easier and to move them up. So a lot of credit. It's not just me. It's been the whole kind of department with Rosie and Berkey as well.
And everyone getting terrific results. Thanks for sitting down with us, Fred.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That is Fred Brathwaite. We'll hop out when we come back. Jeff Sharples is going to get us set for Thunder Night, which is coming during the Silver Knights' next homestand. That's straight ahead. We're horsing around.
This holiday season, we partnered with the United Way of Southern Nevada to build bikes for kids in the community for the holidays. So we're out here building some of the bikes that are going to go back to the community. Between the entire North Knights organization, we have donated over 200 bikes for the holidays. Today we're building some that are going to go to a Boys and Girls Club in Henderson.
United Way of Southern Nevada is so grateful. We've partnered up with VGK and HSK to work on a bike build. We've done 3 throughout the community, but specifically today we are building bikes to donate to Boys and Girls Club Henderson. And again, we are so grateful for the Henderson Silver Knights and players to not only help us improve our community and build bikes for the little kids this season, but just to partner up with us as a United Way.
He's opening up a little bit. Hallam breaks in left wing, dangles to the inside, got it across, and saved by Blaine and rolled in. Hayuch had the initial shot. McKay was in the area. It looked like Riley McKay tapped it home. It's Teddy Confetti at Lee's Family Forum, and the Silver Knights have a 1-0 lead.
You know what, no one wants to be in the hospital, and during the holidays, it's just important to just any little shine of light. And these guys have big smiles, they have so much energy, and just that it's contagious, and bringing them to the hospital during the holidays just spread a little bit of cheer. Well, the exciting part is I got some great newborns. They got to see newborns, so like there were some sick kids or somebody that was injured, a child that was injured, but seeing some of the newborns, and that's kind of like a nice, exciting point because that's a celebration as opposed to just being sick in the hospital.
You know, it was nice. We got to see a lot of people that were leaving the hospital or just had babies, so it was nice to see some people that were excited to get out of here, and it was a good day for them, but it was a really good day for us. It's always fun to come here, and you feel good getting to help people.
Back on Horsin Around, it was great catching up with Silver Knights goaltending coach Fred Brathwaite. But now as we look ahead to the next Silver Knights homestand, fans are excited for the return of Las Vegas Thunder Night, the third time the Silver Knights will be celebrating some of the pioneers of hockey in Las Vegas. And to help us get ready, we have former Las Vegas Thunder defenseman and current Golden Knights analyst, Mr. Jeff Sharples. Jeff, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it. Looking forward to having you at the Leafs Family Forum next week.
That's right, BMAC. I'm looking forward to it. Get a chance to spend a little bit more time with you. So that's always a big win.
Well, I always know, for some of the alumni who are going to be joining us, and there are upwards of, we think, a dozen that might be able to make their way down to Henderson for the 24th when the Silver Knights take on the Tucson Roadrunners. Some of them we're seeing for the first time since the last time we had Las Vegas Thunder Night. But not you. You're around the VGK all the time. How much have you enjoyed this year? Last year you did some TV work with the Silver Knights and Gold Knights. Doing even more of it this year. How are you liking that role?
I like it a lot. It's it's just kind of a crazy experience how it all came to be. But, we've kept an eye on the VGK since day one. I mean, we got behind the Vegas Wildcats hockey that Mr. Foley put together. And so I kind of feel like I have a really good grasp of, the team and the players and, try and get out and spend more time with the HSK. I'll be doing that more in the second half of the season. But you and I have got together on a few nights. Obviously, you're working. I've worked a couple games with you, but I think it's great. And what really makes it much more exciting, I guess you could say, is both teams are having good years. The HSK, since really this time last year, maybe Christmas, have really, really turned it around, and that's a credit to obviously the players and the coaching staff. And so there's a lot to be thankful for in the Vegas and Henderson hockey communities with our pro teams.
Well, you played over 100 NHL games in a long pro career, and of course a significant member of the Las Vegas Thunder. How often do you get people, especially since you're in the public eye now with your VGK work even more so, but how often do you have fans come up to you wanting to relive the glory days of Vegas Thunder hockey?
Yeah, it happens more than you'd think, and you see you still see at T-Mobile, and you'll see them down at Leafs Family Forum, the Las Vegas Thunder jerseys, which is iconic jersey. I got to give them credit for putting that, that teal and that color scheme together. But you do see people and people that supported us are supporting the Golden Knights and are supporting the Silver Knights. So it's, looking forward to next week, January 24th. It's kind of an opportunity for everyone to get back together, and it's great that the Silver Knights are recognizing the Thunder, and it's I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long road. It seems like just yesterday that we all came to Vegas, and time goes by pretty fast. And now it's HSK's turn to get out there on Saturday night and provide the level of entertainment that the Thunder brought to town years ago.
And Jeff, there's no question now, anyone who had any doubts in the beginning don't have them now, especially with the Stanley Cup banner hanging at T-Mobile Arena as to whether or not hockey was going to work in Vegas. That question has been asked and answered, but when that question was being asked, it wasn't being asked by you or your former teammates, because from the enthusiasm there was for the Thunder back at Thomas and Mack in the late 90s, you knew that hockey was going to work here.
Yeah, I mean, I have lots of friends that won more than a case of beer or a bottle of wine or something when they'd ask me if hockey was going to come and work in Vegas. And I never had a doubt about it. Did I think that we were going to have the level of success that we've had with the VGK, and now we're starting to get our traction with the HSK? No, I didn't. I mean, I don't think anybody could have foresaw that except maybe Mr. Foley and Kelly McCrimmon and George McPhee. So it's been pretty crazy experience. When the team goes through adversity now, they're still right up around the top of the standings, whereas other teams are tearing it down and trying to figure it out. And I think we've been really spoiled with the Golden Knights, and we'll look forward to the Silver Knights getting on that same level of success.
Sharps, of the many hats that you wear, I think we could include Vegas Thunder alumni director if we wanted to, you and your wife Michelle, because you have been very much key in each of the three installments of Las Vegas Thunder Night of getting some of the alumni together. Talk to us about, well, first of all, some of the teammates of yours that we might see at Lee's Family Forum on the 24th, and how you guys have stayed close-knit throughout the years.
So, we've got some guys a bunch of us are still around town. Rod Buskus was one of the original Thunder members. We got Randy Burridge, Gordy Mark, Pokey Reddick. Everyone remembers Pokey. And we got another goalie, Clinton Larchuk. Those two, Pokey and Clint, were quite the 1-2 tandem for us. Of course, Clint's coming in this year for the first time, and we're really excited about having him come in. We got Bob Strum, our GM, coach and GM, who's just an electric personality. So, we've got a lot of guys coming in that we're really excited about seeing again. And I would say one of the ones that people haven't seen in a while is Clint, and the cowboy, Clint Malarchuk, coming in, and he's quite the guy, and we're really excited about having him along with all the other guys that are coming in. I guess less than a week now, or just a little over a week.
And as you mentioned, for Clint Malarchuk, who's just a fascinating person, both his career and since then, the impact he's had on hockey, and the way he's told his story. He's a very exciting first-timer for Las Vegas Thunder Night. To your point, though, so many Thunder alumni have stayed in the Vegas area, even having played, yourself included. You played somewhere after your Thunder tenure, but came back. And why was it such that players enjoyed their time playing here so much that they wanted to make it their permanent home?
There's a lot of reasons. Vegas is so welcoming and accommodating, and one of the things I found when I came to Vegas, and I guess it was '93, is not a lot of people were from Vegas, so we all kind of had to get along, right, and get to know each other a little bit. Obviously, the city's gotten much bigger, but so is our hockey program, and our kids are coming up now, and most of us that live locally still are involved one way or another with minor hockey, which is an incredible experience for all of us to see how big and how fast that the hockey community is growing. So, there was opportunity for us after the game. Obviously, the Golden Knights didn't come in right away, but we all kind of cut our teeth and did different things. We loved the area. Our families loved the area. And, as you can see, right from the time the Thunder dropped the puck in 1993, through the Wranglers were there. They had a good following, and now you've got the VGK followed by the HSK, and that's just a great place to live. And obviously we're building, more rinks are on board, coming online. And the amount of kids we have coming in through Learn to Play or just joining minor hockey is incredible. And the numbers are around 2,000 kids a year that start in the Learn to Skate program, graduate to Learn to Play alone. Not to mention the other kids that maybe come in from out of town that have already been involved in some kind of minor hockey program.
Well, Sharps, you just laid it out so well, because I think when we look at anytime hockey, NHL hockey comes to a new city, you kind of look 10, 15 years down the road and you start seeing some of the draft picks coming out of those areas, because the NHL going to those cities spurred that growth in youth hockey. But it feels like the youth hockey explosion in Vegas happened so much faster because you didn't have to wait for Golden Knights players to play here, retire, have kids of their own, and get involved in youth hockey. You guys were already here, and you guys dove into the youth hockey scene right away. So the youth hockey explosion is very much a part of the Thunder story.
Yeah, it is. And, obviously when the VGK came to town, it just took a quantum leap. But there was minor hockey in Vegas, not at the the size it is today. But yeah, I mean, Busky, his son played, Pokey's son played, Gage Quinney, we all know Gage really well, Ken's boy played, and really, what an honor. The first kid born in Nevada, born in Las Vegas, playing the NHL, Gage Quinney. Shocking, but you know what? He's just the first of many. We got so many coming in the pipeline, whether they go on to play, travel hockey, they go play high school hockey, or whether they go play junior or college. We're going to have kids, you're going to start to see and hear more and more as time goes on about these kids in pro hockey and or in college hockey. And you don't have to even look even any further than what's going on at UNLV too. that level of hockey is rising all the time. And man, we're lucky. We're really lucky in Vegas. We live in a beautiful place, but we have we have the resources. I'd like to see a few more resources in rinks and ice sheets open so more people have access to the game. And that's the next big piece of the puzzles, making sure we can make every kid have an opportunity to go out and try a pair of skates on, have a hockey stick, and see if they like the game, and then see where it'll take them from there. Because it's such a close knit community. It's incredible, and there's nothing wrong with a team sport. It helps build friendships, and it helps build character.
Well, on the 24th, you and a lot of your former teammates, again, may live in town, you still see each other, but you'll see some people you haven't seen too recently, and you'll have a chance to come together, as will Thunder fans, and reminisce. And when that happens, usually the same handful of stories are told again and again. What are some of the anecdotes you think are going to be circulating around Lee's Family Forum?
I can tell you, we'll let Clint Malarchuk, we'll call him Cowboy Clint, but this guy is one of the true characters of the game. He's got stories of the game and things that have happened to him that are crazy. One of my favorites is when we came to Vegas, we needed nicknames for people. Like, that was a big thing. So we had one line, which was that we had called it was the chainsaw, which was Darcy Lohan, the hacksaw, which was Mark Rogers, and their center was Jeff Nelson, and he was the skill saw. And so that was one of them. But my favorite story of them all is Jeff Riccardi, really good guy, and we still keep in touch with his family a little bit. And they came to Vegas, and we needed nicknames to introduce the guys before they came on the ice, right? So Chris McSorley, or it might have been Strummer, actually. Strummer comes up to him and goes, "Hey, what's a good nickname?" And he goes, "Well, I don't really have any nicknames. Our family, we're a family of bakers." He goes, "We can't call you the baker." So he became Jeff the Butcher Riccardi when they introduced him on the ice. So stuff like that. We had a lot of fun. We had one other quick story is guaranteed win night we had. And I will never forget this. We had a great home record, and we were playing against Fort Wayne, and we were up on them 2-0, and we ended up losing to them in a shootout. And Strummer, I thought his head was going to pop off, because guaranteed win night, if you don't win, everybody gets a ticket to a future game on the house. And of course, we were selling out back then, and of course, as you know, sometimes revenue is tough to come by. There's a lot going on in Vegas back then. There's still a lot going on. So those are just a couple of the stories. But I'll let Clint. He's got some of the best stories. I'll let him kind of share them with you when he rolls into town later next week.
And we will connect with some Thunder teammates over the next few days as we get ready for Las Vegas Thunder Night on the 24th. Before we let you go, Sharps, real quick, all these players that we're going to be spending time with the next week played in the National Hockey League, played in the IHL, AHL in front of thousands of people. But once hockey ends, life goes on. And if you're not involved in hockey, these are all very approachable, regular guys that are excited to spend time with their fans. Look at you. You're on VGK TV often enough, but people are probably wondering, where is he calling us from right now? You've got a day job. It's a pretty interesting one. What are you doing when you're not on set?
Yeah, I work for Alaska Airlines, captain for Alaska Airlines. So I'm on a break here right now because BMAC, you're so important to me. And this Thunder Night's so important. We got to get it out, but once in a while, we call them productivity breaks, and just the way the schedule works, you end up in a city for a few hours before you go to your next place. So I'm in Portland, Oregon this afternoon, go to Ontario, California tonight, and so I'm just waiting here, and we wanted to get together with you. So that's what I went in to do. And Rod Buskus, he left hockey, went into the aviation as well as a captain for Hawaiian Airlines. So, Clint works with he's got a bunch of stuff going on, but Cowboy Clint, he's got his farm and he works up in northern Nevada. Ken Quinney became a fireman. Darcy Lohan became a fireman. Just some great stories out there. And when Bob Strum, our GM and coach, left the team, Strummer became a scout for multiple teams around the NHL. He was in Detroit, he was with the Columbus Blue Jackets for a while, and he still watches about 7 games a night. I think I watch a lot, but nothing compared to him. So everyone had to do something, and the fact now that hockey's back in Vegas for us is just it's incredible, because we have one of the best teams on any given night in the league, and the fact that the HSK is in town now, and now starting to find their footing, and become a really competitive team. That's really exciting, and it's not only for us; it's for our kids and families in the Vegas Valley and beyond, to be able to come out and watch these guys. That on the 24th of January, you're going to come out and watch these guys, and I'll just throw a name at you, Braden Bowman. Who would have thought he would have been playing 5-6 games in the minors with the HSK this year? And now he's a staple with the VGK. So it's awesome.
It is great, Jeff, and all of you still making your mark in the community in Vegas, both on and off the ice. And also for the fans now, they know you're on a break right now. Even when you're not at the rink, I'm still eating into your downtime. So appreciate your
That's well, you know what? You know Darren Millard, but you're not bad. At least you don't chirp me as much as Mallard does. So anytime, BMAC, I'm here for you, and love what you do with the HSK. We're very lucky to have you call them every night for them.
Appreciate your generosity of your time and your friendship, and we look forward to seeing you on the 24th for Las Vegas Thunder Night. Jeff Sharples, safe travels. We'll see you when you get back to town.
All right, BMAC, I look forward to it.
And that is the great Jeff Sharples, Vegas Thunder alumni and Vegas Golden Knights broadcaster. Looking forward to seeing him on January 24th for Las Vegas Thunder Night at Lee's Family Forum. For all information on that event, head to HendersonSilverKnights.com. Well, that'll do it for this week on Horsin Around. Again, big thanks to Jeff Sharples and to Silver Knights goaltending coach Fred Brathwaite. Darren Elliott will be back here for our next episode, and we'll be here waiting for you. Horsin Around.